So I'm going to actually open this first map, which is our Executive Briefing Center on the first floor there in Houston. So I don't know if any of you have had an opportunity to come to the Executive Briefing Center, but one of the things is that you'll notice that I've got hotspots about all of these different applications here and different things here and assets that I might have. So the first thing is I may want to actually take a look at the reception area. And with the reception area, one of the things that I could do is have information here. So maybe I want to do my MyIT welcome. And at this point, it'll actually cross-launch out, and it'll actually give you a demo of what MyIT is from that perspective. So I want to actually close out of that. I may want to go into a meeting room. Say, for instance, this particular meeting room is a conference room I go into a lot, which is the Brazos room. And I'm presenting today, and one of the things is I noticed that just before I started presenting, I noticed the bottled water in the kitchen was not full. And I've got a full group of people coming in here. So maybe I want to go in and put some information in here. My meeting's going to start at 2 o'clock. So I'm going to zoom down here to 2. And some of this I could have it default in. I don't need anything here. Need water. And then priority, it's pretty high because I know I've got some VIPs in here. I could take a picture of the refrigerator showing there's no water in there. And meeting room. And then at that point, I can actually go submit the request, and it's going to actually tell me that the request has been submitted up here for me. Pretty easy, pretty simple from that perspective. But let's just go to, say, for instance, a different resource. Let's say I'm in a particular meeting room, or in this case, I'm on a particular floor, and I need to use that Xerox printer. So I happen to be here on the second floor. There's the printer in the education area of the second floor. I know I need to print something out, but maybe I'm not sure exactly how to do different things. So maybe at this point I want to actually take a look at the manual. And so one of the things that MyIT can do is actually give me access to some of the information from that perspective, and I can actually go read the manual in real time. Maybe I walk up to the printer and I realize that something is not right from that particular printer, and I want to actually so that it needs some toner, and maybe it's a color printer, so it needs the magenta toner, and it's just saying it's low right now, and now I'll actually submit it. So one of the things that we want to do with MyIT is to empower the end users to, as they uncover things in the environment that they typically might walk over and tell an admin about, or just walk, say, it's really not my problem. I really don't want IT to call me about this printer. It's not even my printer. I work in Dallas. I happen to be down here for the day, but you may be in a meeting room and the projector bulb may not be 100%, and you realize that, I wonder how long that's been that way. I wonder how long that this projector bulb has been dim. And with MyIT, with something like this, the end user could say, hey, guess what? It's not working right. And so for the next person that comes in, they're actually going to be able to do that. One of the other things that I could do, and unfortunately I don't have a QR code, but if I was to actually do this here, and go to my camera, you'll actually see that's my desk right there, and you'll see there's paper. So let's just say, for instance, I was doing something like this, and there was a QR code on a particular device or something. At that point, I could scan the QR code, and it would actually take me straight to that resource from that perspective. So that gives you some ideas of what you can do with location awareness. Now, we've had one customer that is so excited about this capability that one of the things that they're talking to us about is their whole green desk initiative, and the idea that because they have a transient workforce, they want end users to be able to provision their hot desk on the day when they come in, and have something like this begin to tell you which desks are available, which desks aren't, by turning the the assets different colors from like green to red, and then also being able to maybe tell you from a grouping perspective where a lot of your team is sitting, so you can actually start building collaborative teams and things of that nature from that perspective. So from there, I'm going to move from locations. I'm actually going to take you a little bit further down here, and I'm going to go into broadcast. And broadcast comes strictly in from, and I guess I don't have any, all the broadcast messages have been cleared, but this is something that would actually be linked into from the IT application, IT service management. So let me go here back to assistance, and I'm not refreshing. It's always fun to see that here. Do this. Okay. Yep, there we go. All right, so now I go into assistance. So assistance pulls straight from today out of our service request management application. So as you define different service requests, we're using the same permissions, the same capabilities that you would have from a service request perspective, but we're actually putting it here in the assistance portal. So I can actually come in here, say, hey, I need to get something fixed. Maybe I have a problem with a particular PC issue. Then I can put information in there, maybe put a picture of that. Maybe I want to go over here and ask for access to VPN, or maybe I have problems with the printers. So anything from that perspective, or I can browse in here. Same thing, I want to pick something else. Maybe I need to go add an IT user, or maybe I need a new demo, or maybe I need to go remove some type of software on the application. So things that you would normally maybe go into SRM to do or call the service desk, we want to be able to empower the end users to be able to go get that information here. But one of the other things that we've done here is we've linked in knowledge management too. So the ability to go in here and maybe look at not just knowledge management capabilities, but maybe I want to look at and have key links for individuals. So maybe I want to go look at this YouTube video, or maybe I want to go look at Google over here, or maybe I want to go over here and view all and have it search for different things. And then finally, one of the other things, and of course my screen caught again. Come on. Don't normally have this kind of problem. Okay, there we go. The final thing I want to talk about is the idea of a concierge service or an appointment type capability. So the ability to actually go in and maybe schedule an appointment with IT. So of course we're so used to putting a ticket in and then expecting IT is going to call us, and sometimes they don't call us at the right time. So this is a capability for me to go in and say, hey, I want to go add a new appointment. It could be any kind of an IT resource. Maybe I want to schedule time in a lab, or possibly maybe I want to schedule time to have something done to my PC. So in this case, we've actually set it up for a demo, and I can go in here and say, okay, maybe I want a service support demo, and then once I pick that, then here are my different times that are available, and then maybe I want to say I want to see change management, and then submit it. And then, of course, my appointment's now been submitted. Now I've got an appointment with IT. They know to expect me at this time, and maybe I'll get more details sent to me or something from that perspective. Health, if we move on down here, and health is taken strictly from the services that you really care about from an IT perspective in the business. So you actually can come in here. You can follow certain services, and the nice thing too is maybe I want to come in here and maybe I want this particular notification to come in on the device, or maybe I want it to come in on email. If I'm following the email service and the email service is down, I may not want an email telling me the email service is back up. I may want some kind of a notification on my device that would tell me that. I can also create these services so that maybe I'm tracking things like a particular building or something like that. Maybe I want the weather outlet so that if I'm a member of the people that go into the SFO office, I can get weather alerts, and I can also send out alerts from the office saying, hey, there's the power's out or something's not working, you don't need to come in today, or something from that perspective. The final two things that are listed here, in the interest of time and making sure we have time for questions, I'm not actually going to drill directly into them, but I do want to talk to a little bit about, because I think they're important. The first is the marketplace. So we've run into some customers that have taken a look at this and they say, well, that's great, but my users are not allowed to get out to the App Store and download things. Fair enough. One of the things that we do and what comes with the application is this idea of what we would call a corporate marketplace. So the ability for you to host and provide mobile applications that have been certified in your environment, and you can provide those on the other side of the firewall. It also is nice because you can link those to, say, for instance, an app store or something like that with a wrapper, and then that way, if an end user is looking for something, they go get the approved application, maybe the approved Adobe or the approved MyIT or something like that, and they can go into the marketplace, and it's just like, it looks very similar to the App Store where they can download and do those things. The last thing is the secure content locker. The content locker really provides us the ability to go in and store those maps that you see in here, but it also allows you to securely maintain and monitor documents that may be sensitive to your organization. And so the content locker gives you kind of that, it's just what it is. It's a locker around documents, around presentations, around anything that would be specific to you in your organization, so they're not out there in places like Evernote or Dropbox and things like that.